What up, what up, what up, what up, Don Dons? This is your boy Chef Don Don here with another video. Listen, but before we get into anything, please make sure if you're not subscribed, that you go ahead and subscribe and make sure you bang that notification bell so that you don't miss anything, okay? But also, please connect with me at Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, and YouTube, all right? And if you would like to give any type of monetary donations, it is at the bottom of this particular screen. All right. So today we are going to be discussing a heavy topic. We're going to be discussing the unfortunate unaliving of Miss Alana Sims. All right. Now, a Tampa rapper who is who had been acquitted for a double unaliving is now being accused of unaliving a pregnant mom. Very, very sad. But before we get into this, please make sure that you understand that anything that is stated in this video is our opinion. We are going to be reading directly from an article that will be pasted in the description box of this actual video. All right. Also, I want to go ahead and give a fair trigger warning in this because this topic is pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy, so I want to make sure that we give a fair trigger warning before we get into this story. All right, so here pictured in the thumbnail, you will see Miss Alana Sims on the left, and you will also see Mr. Mr. Billy Bennett Adams the third. All right. So what we're gonna do is get into this article here. But before I do that, also I want to send my deepest condolences to Alana Sam's family. I know that right now this can be super, super tough to deal with. So I again want to send my condolences out to the family. Okay. All right. So let's get into this article. A Tampa rapper acquitted of unaliving, now accused of unaliving a pregnant mom. Listen, this is sad, but we do have to get into this story, and he has been arrested. All right, so let's get into the first part of this story. Billy Bennett Adams III, a hip hop artist who performs as Ace NH, and who was acquitted last month of a fatal double shooting, was arrested again Wednesday, this time on charges related to the death of a pregnant Tampa woman. Adams, 25, unalived Alana Sims, 22, on January the 30th and left her beside her parked SUV in a new Tampa subdivision called Eston Park. The Tampa Police Department said Wednesday her toddler son was found unharmed sleeping in a car seat in the vehicle. Adams once again is facing a first degree unaliving charge. He also faces a charge of unaliving an unborn child by injury to the mother, police said. Sims' family publicly confirmed that she is the victim in the case. So the article goes on to say that Tampa Police Major Mike Stout said in a news conference Wednesday afternoon that Sims had been lured to what was said to be a party to celebrate Adams' acquittal. She considered Adams to be her boyfriend, Stout said, and believed that he was the father of the unborn child. Now, a passerby found her about 10 p.m. lying by the roadside in the 10700 block of Pittsburgh Park Drive. Now, she was shot, Stout said. She was 5 months pregnant, and it was unclear if Adams was indeed the father. The police believe the motive was that Adams didn't want to be in Sim's life anymore, Stout said. Before I continue, one thing I will say is when women are in these types of situations, and I'm not sure I understand why, and here's the thing, no victim shaming again. I want to send condolences, but he was acquitted of a double unaliving. I don't know that I could still date someone who was even questioned or who even had to deal with something like that. That's deep. That's deep. But let's continue on with the article. All right, so it goes on to say that when detectives first questioned him, Adams told them that he hadn't seen Sims in a while, didn't know if he could be the father of her child, and hadn't heard she was dead, Stout said. He denied being in the area where she was shot, but police said they obtained video showing his car near the crime scene. Wow, wow, wow. Now, police said that he later admitted to the shooting. Further details about the investigation were not immediately available. The slaying happened 3 days after a Tampa jury found Adams not guilty in a 2020 shooting of two men in a Luntz recording studio. It took the panel of 6 men and 6 women about 4 hours to acquit Adam of 2 counts of first-degree unaliving. They apparently, uh, they apparently heated arguments that Adams unalived Trayvon Aubrey and Daniel Thompson in self-defense. It was a stunning conclusion to the week-long trial that Hillsborough Circuit Judge Christopher Sabella said was at the very least a close call. Now, the jury did find that you are not criminally responsible for that, but I certainly hope that you find yourself in further never in a situation in the future, I'm sorry, in a situation that may involve anything like this, Selba told Adams after the jury verdict. All right. The article also goes on to say that the judge told Adams to stay out of trouble. I don't ever want to see you back here in this courthouse, he said. A pivotal moment in the trial came when Adams took the witness stand and calmly explained why he unalived Aubrey and Thompson. He described how a late night music session in a small lunch recording studio turned tense when he overheard the pair talking about robbing the studio's owner, Joseph Meeks. He said that he saw Aubrey pull a pow pow and pointed it at Meeks, who sat unaware of the danger. Okay. Now it goes on to say, I pulled out my pow pow and I shot Mr. Aubrey, Adams said, in fear for Mr. Meeks being shot or shot or myself being shot. Thompson then reached for Adams by pow, he said. Adams shot him twice in the face. Wow. I was in fear that he would have shot me or Mr. Meeks, Adams said. So I shot Mr. Thompson back to back. The article goes on to say that Adams was free on bail for most of the 2 years that the earlier unaliving case was pending, but he was restricted from leaving his parents' new Tampa home and subject to electronic monitoring for his movements. He also was forbidden from possessing pow pows and had to turn over his concealed weapons permit. Those restrictions ceased when he was found not guilty. Had the jury convicted him, Adams would have received a mandatory sentence of life in prison. Instead, he walked out of court that day with his attorneys escorted by sheriff's deputies. Wow. This is crazy. Adams, who has more than 30,000 followers on Instagram, released an album on February the 1st titled Underground Icon. It covers, wow, I'm so shocked. It covers, it covers included an image of news story headlines about his previous M charge. On Wednesday, his Instagram page was made private. All right. Wow. This is a lot. This is why I had to give you guys that trigger warning because this is very, very heavy. Okay. Let's get into the next part of this article. All right. Now, a Tampa police news release quote Hillsborough State Attorney Susan Lopez saying that her office had worked closely with the department since the night of Sim's death, which we respect the verdict of the jury in the prior case. We disagreed with it, and that is why we prosecuted him, Lopez said in the release. We will continue to work with the Tampa Police Department to prosecute him for these latest crimes. Okay. Now, what I want to get into now is I want to take a look at what really happened with Miss Alana Sims. And I want to send my condolences over to her family. But you guys do know that this was picked up by People Magazine, along with some other people, such as Bay News 9, the New York Post, all those different things. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I want to pull up the People article that was shared a couple days ago in regards to um, Alana's death. Okay. So give me just a second and we're going to pull this up here really quick. All right. So this goes on to say that inside the mysterious death of a pregnant Florida mom found next to her car with a toddler son inside. The body of Alana Sims, who was 5 months pregnant at the time of her death, was found on the ground outside of her SUV, where her 23-month-old son was asleep in the back seat. Authorities in Florida continue to investigate the death of a young pregnant mother whose body was found next to her car with her toddler son inside. Now, Alana Sims, who was 5 months pregnant at the time of her death, died as a result of upper body trauma, according to the authorities. Police have also said that her death resulted from a targeted attack, but other details remain scarce. Now, her heartbroken family is now hoping for a break in the case as they work to raise funds for Sims' burial. Here are four important aspects about the case. Alana Sims was found dead with upper body trauma. Sims, whose age was also described by Tampa police as being in her 20s, suffered upper body trauma on January the 30th, according to investigators. This means that it is currently unknown who or what caused the injuries that led to her death. Now, we also already told you that the rapper has been arrested for this. Okay, so this was before that article came out yesterday. Now, her son was asleep in the back seat. Now, a woman's 23-year-old son was asleep in his car seat in the back of her Ford EcoSport SUV. When officers arrived around 10 p.m., the department said in a press release. Now, a little boy who turns 2 next month was unarmed and is now being looked after by her family. Prayers to her family for real. He's among loved ones running around. He's among loved ones running around and he's running around and he's happy. Her mother, uh, I think it is Shalivi Sims, told ABC Action News. If I got that wrong, please, 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 charge it to my mind and not my heart. Now, police believe it was a targeted attack. Now, though the investigation remains ongoing, police do believe that Sims' unaliving results resulted from a targeted attack. We don't believe it was random, and we're Following up with lots of leads right now, interim police chief Lee Biercrow said per the Tampa Bay Times. Now, Tampa Police Department spokesman Crystal Clark told 10 Tampa Bay, I can tell you when she was lying on the ground, it appeared she had been deceased for a bit of time. According to the police press release, homicide detectives have been speaking with neighbors, and it does not appear Sims lived in the neighborhood. Authorities have yet to name any person of interest in this case. Now, Sims was a devoted mother who always had a smile on her face. A Sims family mourns, as Sims family mourns her death, they're also ensuring she is being remembered as more than just a victim of a crime. Alana was the best person you could be around. She wasn't around drama. And I think again her mom's name is Shalivi. Sims previously told people. She stayed to herself, just a real down to earth person. Shalivi said she believed being around her nieces. I'm sorry, she loved being around her nieces and she loved her son and her family. Sim's sister, Carly Williams, told 10 Tampa Bay that she was extremely close with Sims, who was one of five girls in the family. She always had a smile on her face, was always positive no matter what Williams said. A GoFundMe campaign created to help offset the cost of Sims' funeral has raised more than $12,000 as of February the 3rd. She's described in the fundraiser as a devoted mother who has a son who she loved very much. We just want all this to come to a conclusion so we can close the chapter and begin a new chapter. Uh, Shalavi, is it Shalavi? Told ABC Action News. Now, anyone with any information related to the case is urged to call the Tampa Police Department at 813-231-6130 and share a tip through tip 411. Now, that is accessible through the Tampa Police Department app. What I do find interesting about this, just overall, again, I did read the article where the rapper is being accused and has been arrested of such crime. Um, this is really sad. This is really sad. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where a mother and her baby has to be buried, but this is sad. This is extremely sad. And I want to again send my prayers to Alana's family. Um, it seems to be a lot of people that did not agree with um, Billy Bennett Adams being acquitted for the two unaliving. So it's very unfortunate that 3 days after that he unalives this young lady. Y'all, we really gotta pay attention to our surroundings and the people that are around us because this is absolutely absurd to say the least. It's absolutely absurd. So again, I'm really hoping and praying that this family receives the justice that they absolutely deserve because we already know our justice system always tends to fail our very own. And so we just want to make sure that this family is receiving the love and the care that they need. What I'm going to do is place both of these articles down in the description box of this actual video. And I will also put the GoFundMe link as well. All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you bang that notification bell so that you don't miss anything that we do have coming up. Well, with that being said, guys, I appreciate you and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Prayers to Alana Sims' family and to her children.